Story 1. A wild Karen got arrested with a felony.
Background. I'm a 35-year-old father of 2 boys. I have PTSD due to time overseas and have physical scars to match the mental scars. I have an incredible wife who knows me and knows what situations I should avoid. My children are amazing, but this story revolves around my youngest son and my service dog. Jay, my youngest son, has autism, and we share a special bond because some things that set him off also put my teeth on edge. Spike, my English bulldog, he's my service dog. He's well-trained, lazy, judgmental, and overall uninterested in anything he can't eat. He's also very in tune with Jay and my emotions and will provide a distraction when we get overwhelmed. Basically, he's like, "Oh, you're stressed? Here, scratch my butt, you'll feel better, and I'll get attention." It's a win-win. The story. My family recently moved to Texas. Because we now live very close to an amusement park, we have memberships. Shout out to the park for being amazing when it comes to special needs. This particular park in Arlington, Texas, has a special program for autistic people. They have rooms set aside to chill at if you're overstimulated, so you can relax, go back out, get overstimulated again, and round you go. With Jay, we also don't have to wait in line. This is a huge thing and the cause of this story. The park has a pass that lets you skip most of the lines, and they charge an arm and a leg for this. However, with that pass, you still end up in a line of the hundreds of people who also have that pass. Jay gets no lines at all. We get a special pass, and we go in through the exit. The worker signs the pass, and we go on the ride. Jay has a favorite ride, the log ride. There have been days that we would ride the log ride over and over, then eat. We also have the food pass, which we pay for, then go back to the log ride. On this day, T, my oldest, and Jay wanted to go on the log ride. So we made our way to the exit and left wife and Spike in the shade because someone has to stay with him, and bulldogs plus rides don't mix. As we were going in the exit, a woman started screaming at us. I have absolutely no hearing on my right side, thanks high pressure wave, so didn't consider it worth turning my head to listen. Now because we ride this ride almost exclusively, the workers on this ride know us by name and sight. Jay even talks to them, which is rare. We go in, show the pass, sit and ride. This time though, Tabitha, I'll call her Tabitha because Karen is overused, the woman who was screaming at us as we were walking in through the exit, made her way to where the speedy pass ends at the ride where a red shirt will check her pass and let her go on her way. She didn't even want to ride. She just wanted to yell about us going in through the exit and how we are abusing the system. Now anyone who looks at Jay can see he's in a world of his own and wouldn't be surprised if he's literally reading the future or talking to aliens. He's awesome. The red shirt tries to calm her down. T is getting upset because he's a normal 9-year-old and the adults yelling is uncool. Jay is making excited sounds and waiting for the log to stop so he can get in. We get in, and as we float away, we still hear Tabitha screaming. The ride ends, and we exit. We figured we would never see Tabitha again, but obviously, as I'm pointing this out, it didn't go that way. Tabitha appeared like a dark brother after making the sacrifice, Elder Scrolls reference, hooting and screaming. She is screaming that just because Jay is a retard doesn't mean we get extra rights. The screaming causes Jay to let out his super screech. Now, anyone who knows autism knows that autistic kids have superpowers. In Jay's case, it's a supersonic, ear-shattering, high-pitched screech that makes your eyes swim and makes it feel like things in your head are moving that shouldn't. This whole time, Spike was lying on the ground in the froggy position as bulldogs do, just looking at Tabitha like she's a rabid dog, but not worth getting up for. As we are being screamed at, I see 2 officers approaching from behind Tabitha. I smile. My smile must have broken Tabitha because the haul's off and kicks Spike. This flips my switch because now my family is under attack, and I start reacting. Before I could make contact, Tabitha was already in the air, being held, carried, and half dragged away while being cuffed. Now in front of me is a well-dressed and pissed-looking officer. He tells us he heard the screech and started heading to it because they thought a ride had broken or something bad had happened. I take the time to unflip that switch and examine Spike. He's limping and crying. I feel his hips and feel that his hip is dislocated. I jokingly ask the officer to walk away and let me get some. He, of course, had no humor in this, but he could also tell I had a career. He asked what happened, and we all explained what happened from A to Z. He asks if Spike is a service dog. I say yes. He smiles. I'm not in a smile mood, but it catches me off guard. He explains that in Texas to intentionally injure a service dog is a felony. By this time, park security had arrived and issued a trespass order to Tabitha. The officers ask if I want to press charges. I looked at Spike and looked back and said yes. Tabitha and her tiny mouse-like husband start to freak out as Tabitha is loaded onto a golf cart. We hop on a cart too and leave to go to the vet. The vet fixed Spike and all is well. We went back the next day with Spike in a stroller. No one batted an eye, and everyone loved the bulldog in a stroller. I let people pet him. He's a hoot, and the park is an amazing place. I've been contacted by the investigating officer and have given depositions. I may have to testify, but I look forward to sitting on the bench with Spike on my lap.
Story 2. The kid next door using binoculars to peer into my window was picked up by my security camera. Parent freak out that I am using cameras.
Backstory: neighbors have 3 boys, all under the age of 7. In my first encounter with the mom, she promptly tells me, not asks, that her kids wander. I naively thought that meant there might be the odd rogue ball episode or something, so don't protest at the time. Our yards are unfenced and we share a driveway. Oh boy, was I wrong. My yard, back deck, front garden, and even the inside of my house were seen as an extension of their space. The boys would even have sword fight tournaments on my back deck, off my kitchen. The parents would literally do nothing. I was put in a position many times to ask for more privacy, as it was affecting my work and a general sense of well-being, as I am a very private person. It took some push, but finally, things got a bit better. But they still wander to a level I am not willing to cause drama over. This past early winter, I decided to install security cameras. I live alone in a not-so-great area, and I wanted some peace of mind. I also wanted to document encroachment in case it got bad again. In that time, the cameras have picked up a lot of encroachment from kids, but I did not raise the issue because the relationship with parents is peaceful, and I wanted to keep it that way. Fast forward to yesterday, my camera picks up a clip of the middle kid peering into my window with a pair of binoculars. I sent the clip to the parents explaining that one of my cameras had picked it up, and that I am not comfortable with this behavior. It is inappropriate and an invasion of my privacy. They sent a note back saying he was only trying to see if I was home so he could say hello, then insisted on knowing more about my security cameras, what they can see, and if they pick up the kids playing in their yard. I explained that they don't, as they only pick up motion in my yard, but if the kids are in my yard, which they are, a lot, they are recorded. The parents are insisting I take the cameras down. The lesson is entitled Parents Raise Entitled Children. I am frightened to see what kind of adults these kids will turn into. Who knows if I will be here long enough to find out. Edit. Thanks for your responses thus far. I should have mentioned the fence and backstory, how I would love a fence. And will someday. I live in an area where wood is twice the price, and tradespeople are taking bribes for bookings. It's not really possible right now, but someday. They are not only entitled, but also dates, so I'd be paying for it on my own. I did the one thing I had control of, and that's installing cameras.